What does it mean to say that the linear correlation coefficient between two variables is 1? What would the scatter diagram look like? So let's talk about the linear correlation coefficient. Now, we have some idea already of what correlation is, but until now, we have mainly talked in subjective terms. So objectively, to decide whether two quantities have correlation or no, or what kind of correlation it is, we use the linear correlation coefficient. So its symbol is R, and in the software, its symbol is capital R. So if R is equal to 1, that means perfect positive correlation. R is equal to -1 means perfect negative correlation. So R is always between -1 and 1. It cannot go outside the -1 to 1 range. R is equal to 0 means absolutely no correlation. R close to 1 means strong positive correlation. R close to -1 means strong negative correlation. And similarly, R close to 0 will mean about no correlation, and so on. So going back, what does it mean to say that the linear correlation coefficient is 1? So this one we know is perfect positive correlation. A says that, and we know that when that happens, the scattered diagram would contain points that all lie on a line with positive slope. We already talked about that idea before. Match the correlation coefficient to the scatter diagram. So -0.038, this is very close to 0, and we just said that if it's very close to 0, then there's almost no correlation. Now this one looks like a strong positive. This one looks like a perfect negative. This one looks like a strong negative. And this one is completely haphazard, so no correlation. So that should be the -0.038. So match. Now we're given 3 correlation coefficient. This is very close to -1. So the very close to -1 should be strong negative. And this one looks like a strong negative. This one is also negative, but this is a perfect negative. So this should be the R equals -1. Whereas the -0.049 is almost no correlation, and that is probably this one. So A was in strong negative, and we said strong negative is the first one. B was no correlation, so that's the last one. And -1 is perfect negative, so that's the second one. Which value of R indicates a stronger correlation, 0.827 or -0.946? Now, they just said a stronger correlation. They didn't say strong positive or strong negative. So this one is a strong positive. This one is a strong negative. But if we have to talk about which is the stronger one, then the one which has a greater absolute value is the stronger one. This one is stronger negative than this one is positive. So -0.946 is the stronger correlation because -0.946 is higher in absolute value than the 0.827. And D is saying this. This one represents a negative strong because this absolute is bigger than that. What does it mean if R is equal to 0? So that's no linear relationship. So C and D look to be the same, Remember, in this course, we only study linear correlation and linear relationship. So R is equal to 0 will mean no linear relationship. There could be some other kind of relationship, like a quadratic relationship, but there is no linear relationship if R is 0. A history instructor has given the same pretest and the same final exam each semester. He's interested in determining if there's a relationship between the scores of the two tests. He computes the linear correlation coefficient and notes that this is 1.15. So remember, we made a remark when I was showing you different possibilities for correlation coefficient, that its correlation coefficient always has to be between -1 and 1. Now this one is not between -1 and 1. It falls outside that range. So the professor must have made an error. So the history instructor made a computational error.